Hello and welcome to the Decent Wrestling Show, episode 3. Yes, I'm surprised too that it's lasted this long. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. So, in today's episode, we're going to talk about Raw, a couple of AJW matches, maybe only one, that I watched. The two Korakuen Hall TJPW shows that just happened. And then I've got some questions, along with SummerSlam and TakeOver predictions, as well as that's this weekend. Also, make sure to check out my recent MVs on YouTube on this channel. Since the last episode, I've released a Emi Sakura, another One Bites the Dust MV, and a Misa Matsuri MV. Misa Matsuri, who is from Actress Girls and is quickly becoming one of my favourites. So make sure to go and check them out. Alright, let's get into it. Let's begin with the two TJPW shows. So they held two shows at Korakuen Hall, back-to-back nights. And I'm going to give a quick rundown on the shows and what I thought of them. The first day opened with Mihiru Kiryu teaming up with Yuki Aino to take on Nao Kakata and Kaya Toribami, who's the newest in TJPW. It was a fun opening match. I gave it 2 3/4. Nao Kakata won with her excellent finisher, and she was really the star of this match. It was a fine opener. Nothing special, nothing awful, just solid stuff all around. The next match was a weird one because B-Star were in the match, but they were against each other. It was Mayumi Mirai and Moka Miyamoto, OS, against Smile Win Ye and Suzume. Suzume had new gear, which looked excellent. It really suits her. And also, she really stood out in this match for me. She was really the MVP in this match. She really stole the show. And I've been noticing that a lot with Suzume. She's really stepped up her game. Really has stepped up her game in the last 3 or 4 months. Actually, most of the year. She's been killing it since Yes Wonderland, I think. So I expect Suzume, she's got to be... She could be in, like, upper card main event matches by next year. Really, like, she's that good already. So she's got an amazing future on her, Suzume has. And especially I need to see Mayumi Mirai versus Suzume in a big singles match, because they had a great chemistry with the small time they were in the ring with each other. Suzume also did a new head scissor move, which looked really cool. And Moka also had a new move as her own. She did a second rope neck breaker. So it's nice to see Moka adding new moves to her repertoire. And Suzume won with the ring the bell, which is just an RKO basically. And if you do an RKO as a finish, that's always good. So 3.5 stars for this match. Definitely check this one out. Really good stuff. And then we had a 6-woman tag with Arja Kong, Haruna Neko, and Raku. What an odd team. Taking on Hyper Mizao, Kamiyu, and Nodoka Tenma. Kamiyu with her banging theme song. I really loved Kamiyu and Neko's interactions throughout the match. Kamiyu always brings a story to a match. She always makes any match she's in super interesting, whether she's in the big match or the opening tag match. She always makes something out of it and makes it memorable. Neko was great too. I absolutely love her rope walk, especially when Kamiyu was behind doing cat motions as well. Kamiyu had new gear as well, new boot sequins, just all slightly updated, not like completely revamped, but just updated gear, and it looks really cool. Always TJPW with their gears, always their upgrades are really good. One thing I like, how do I say this? I don't want to upset anyone. Arja Kong, absolutely one of the best in Joshi ever, right? But people said this about The Undertaker, that, oh, he should retire, he can't move. Hey, he could move 10 times better than Arja Kong can in 2021. She is basically stationary for 95% of her offense, or in the match. Speaking of Arja, Nodoka spanked Arja on the top rope because why the hell not? And eventually Camus won with the Fame Mouser, as she should, because Camus should be getting a push. Because Camus is amazing, and this was a 3¼ star match. Then we had, I'm just going to skip over this next one, Nyumbi Shikigun and Yukio versus Pom, Rika, and Antonio Honda. Because of Antonio Honda, it was cringy and unfunny, and it's a dud. Not for me. Next, Yuka Sakazaki teaming up with Hikari Noa to take on Miyu Yamashita and the absolute best in TJPW, Marika Kobashi. This match was a bit of an odd one. It wasn't bad by any chance. I'm not a huge fan of Yuka, to be honest. But Miyu had an off night here, because obviously the start with Yuka was a bit awkward. It seems to always happen in Miyu and Yuka matches against each other. They're always a bit awkward together. But even when Noah was in the ring with Miyu, it seemed a little bit off with Miyu on this night. She was better on the second night, but it just on this night didn't look that great and crisp. But again, it was fine match. It wasn't awful or anything. And of course, Marika was pinned. Boo. So I would say 3 stars, but because Marika was pinned, 2¾ Then we get into the 2 main events for day 1. Miyu Watanabe versus the small Kaiju Shoko Nakajima. This was absolutely terrific. And this could be my favourite TJPW match this year, on par with Miyu and Ito from January and Miyu Watanabe and Rika Tatsumi from February. This was absolutely superb. These two worked so well together. The transitions in the second half of the match were insane. Miyu's power game, absolute joy to watch. She hit a lovely power slam in this match, and there was a really cool moment when it transitioned into the swing from Miyu, and her swing is amazing. And it was the transitions, as I said earlier, in this match, especially in the second half of the match, it really picked up, and these two have great chemistry in the ring with each other. Nice hurricanrana from Shoko, then she hit 2 Northern Light suplexes for the win. Sadly, Love Power was not enough. 4.5 stars, definitely check this out. Miyu Watanabe is a future star and an underrated gem. She's only 21 and she's this damn good. Insane. Main event, Makito versus Mazuki. Forgot to say, these are 2 of the Princess Cup semi-finals. So Ito and Mizuki, terrific match between these two. Usually I'm not a fan of Mizuki, but she was great in this match, so props where props is due. There was a nice slam on the mat from Ito, I believe, and then really nice foot stomp from top rope from Mizuki, which looked really cool. But yeah, they went terrific back and forth action, great storytelling between these two. And then, yes, Maki Ito, the cutest in the world, picked up the W and heads to the final on night 2. 4 stars, another match you should definitely check out, great stuff. So the first night, it was pretty good, nothing really bad except for the cringy middle match, and then the Yuka return match wasn't great, and the opener wasn't the greatest. But the rest of the card was really solid, and those 2 final matches definitely make it worthwhile. Night 2. We opened with Miyu Yamashita taking on Moka Miyamoto. Nothing much I can say other than just a really solid match between these two. Nothing crazy, you knew who was winning. 3 stars, solid stuff. Moka held her own in this one, and Miyu was better than she was on the first night. Next match was the Bakaretsu sisters taking on Hyper Mizao and Kaya Toribami. Ton of fun stuff in this match. Mizao and Kaya worked really well together. Really loved the interactions between them two, with Mizao cheating, and then Kaya, she threw the bottle, the spray bottle. She sprays an opponent's eyes, she threw it to Kaya, and Kaya starts spraying on her own neck, oh, thank you for, helping me. because she's so innocent. Or like she had the gave Kaya the cape to like choke one of her opponents, and Kaya just put it on, did a Superman pose, and then got beaten up. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Another really fun moment was Nodoka stalking Mizao in the corner, like Chubby King Kong. Great stuff. I want to see Kaya and Mizao team up a lot more. 3.25 stars, really fun match, nice start. Next up was Toyo University, that's Mihiro and Kamiyu, and teaming up with Haruna Neko to take on B-Star and Love Power Miyu Watanabe. Kamiyu really shown in this match. Again, interactions between Kamiyu and Neko were terrific. Absolutely love it. The dropkick in the corner from Kamiyu was absolutely brutal. I think it was on Mirai. And then we had a little bit near the end of Miyu Watanabe versus Haruna Neko. And again, transitions and the way they interacted and the moves looked so crisp and clean and great. Really, Miyu Watanabe on these two nights was the MVP for me. She absolutely stole the show. 3.5 stars. Check this match out. Really fun interactions, great wrestling action, and some comedy thrown in there too. Really defines what TJPW is about. Speaking of what TJPW is all about, the next match also encapsulated that, as Neo Bishiki Gun took on Hikari Noa and Arisu Endo. Smile win, yay. So at one point, May, so she has her little plate that she has, and she spun Endo on the plate, and everything May touched in this match was golden. She was hilarious, and the great thing is she's just not comedy, she can wrestle as well. So she has that she knows really how to balance comedy and wrestling. And May St. Michelle, also along with Mai Suruga, who's very similar to May St. Michelle. Both of them are superb at mixing wrestling and comedy, and that is why Mai Suruga is going to be a star. She already kind of is, but she should be an even bigger star. And her French cousin or whatever, Mai St. Michelle, also should be a star. But yeah, May is hilarious. This match was so much fun. A lot of great interactions and great wrestling. 3 3/4. Definitely check this match out. Terrific stuff. The one down point on this match was the 8-woman tag with the Gao Express, Marika and Raku teaming up with Rika Tatsumi, and the Arja Kong taking on the Majiabri Pom and now Kakata. It was just a match that I really didn't care for. I would give it like half a star, but I'm going to give it half a star more because Marika was in it. So 1 star. But it was just kind of mid. But what was not mid was the main event, and that was Makito Shoka Nakajima for the Tokyo Princess Cup. This was absolutely amazing between these two. They told a great story, back and forth, terrific action between these two, great chemistry in the ring, great drama about a final. It's always easy to tell a story in a final because you're fighting for that final and that win and the cup. Really great stuff between these two. Definitely a match also you should check out. I didn't think it was quite as good as Miyu versus Shoko, but I thought it was better than Ito versus Mizuki, so it was in the middle. 4.25 stars. And finally, Maki Ito got the win. This means at Wrestle Princess, she will be taking the title from Miyu Yamashita and finally becoming the Princess of Princess Champion. Mark my words.
I will kick your ass, bitch!
So yeah, second show I thought was really well rounded, ton of fun. Best match of both nights was Miyu versus Shoko, and to me the MVP is either going to be Ito, Shoko, Kamiyu, or all honourable mentions, but to me it's going to be Miyu Watanabe. Watch this space, she is going to have an amazing 2022, guaranteed. Right, next up we're going to do the Raw review. So last week I terrifically enjoyed Raw. It was a solid 8 out of 10 show. This week it was a 6.5-ish show. It was the go-home show for SummerSlam. That's why I'm giving it a bit of a lower rating. But there was some ups. I think I have 4 or 5 ups, 4 or 5 downs, and 4 or 5 OKs. So it's definitely a mixed bag. Again, it's a variety show. There's not some things I'm not going to enjoy, some things I'm going to love. So let's get into the downs first, and then I'll do the OKs and then the ups. So downs, I would say, again, I'm worried about Elias. I'm still going to give it a chance, but I'm not thrilled about where it's going at the moment. But again, we'll give it a C, but we'll give it a chance. But for now, it's a down. You watch it be like the best thing in wrestling when it happens, like when he changes his character. You watch, I'll be completely wrong. Orton and Omos, I'll get in more to the RK Bro stuff that goes in the ups, but the match between Orton and Omos was not good. Really, Omos is basically like Great Khali levels of can't move. So then we had the Alexa Bliss and Eva Marie stuff, which I'm a fan of supernatural stuff, but they need to go more into it, because it feels like they're just dipping their toes into it, whetting the appetite of it. Go full in. Go head first into it. Go straight into it. Because supernatural stuff, go super far into it. Corny horror, like you did with the Shayna stuff. I thought that was great. Do more stuff like that. More insane, crazy supernatural stuff. Not just slightly dipping your toe into it. That's my issue with it. Then all the Raw Women's title stuff just didn't do it for me. I'm sure the match will be great. I feel bad for Nikki Cross. She's given it all with her character, and it's her own idea, the character. And there's nothing bad. She's not done anything bad with it. Like, she's meant to be like an underdog hero sort of thing. She lost to Ria Ripley, which again I'm fine with because she's probably going to win at SummerSlam, to be honest. And it really feels like she's like one of those sort of, she'll lose every match, but when it comes to the title match, she'll put in she'll fight and claw for her life and she'll win. But yeah, it's just not for me at the moment. I just don't know what it is. It's just something about it does not click. Again, it's not bad or anything. It's just not. It's not really fun to watch. So, okay stuff. We had Cross destroying Jeff Hardy in like 30 seconds. Good for Cross. Cross should be destroying people. And Jeff. Look, Jeff Hardy's a legend. Absolutely love Jeff Hardy. But in 2021, it's hard to watch him wrestle because he just looks like he's in pain all the time. It's kind of sad to watch. But that's just me. More okay stuff. Mansoor and Mace. Again, I'm enjoying Mansoor and Ali as a tag team. But I want to see more tag team matches between them, not just singles matches. But Mansoor and Mace, it was fine. It was short, quick, nothing amazing, nothing out of this world, nothing offensive, just sort of there. Another thing that was there was Drew McIntyre beating Veer and Shanky. Again, Drew's great. Squash match, it was fine. Solid stuff. Action was good. And Drew and Jinder Mahal, I think, is actually going to be a sleeper hit. Drew McIntyre is terrific. And Jinder Mahal, he's shown capabilities of having great matches. He doesn't always do it, but he has the capability. Just watch Mahal Orton from Money in the Bank 2017, I think it was. That was a really damn good match. Their other matches weren't that great, but that match specifically was great. So I think they could have a sleeper match. You never know. You never really know. And it sounds like it's heading to Drew McIntyre beheading Jinder Mahal at the pay-per-view. with like the sword and Angela. But who knows what's going to happen. Maybe there will be a beheading at SummerSlam. Who knows? The ups now. We got Goldberg and Lashley, which was a solid final segment. The only downside was Goldberg talking a lot at the start. Goldberg shouldn't really be talking. He's more of just say a couple of lines and then beat people up. That's what he should be. And he did that at the end when Lashley came out, ran him down, then Goldberg just went,
"That's bullshit!"
and then gave a spear to Bobby, which basically confirms that I think Bobby's going to win. Again, I'll get into that in the predictions. 24/7 title stuff was a lot of fun with Reggie. R-Truth came out, so they were at a park, and R-Truth is dressed in like camouflage, like green camouflage, next to a tree. Yeah. It's just how is that going to camouflage you, Truth? You're next to a brown tree. It's like, oh, there's this random walking green thing next to this tree. It can't be R-Truth or a human being or anything. And then you get the referee following him, like as if it wasn't bad enough. Obviously, Reggie just like did flips and dodged them, did a really nice jump over his car and drove off, and like said, too easy. I'm really loving this new stuff with Reggie being chased by Mizao and Truth, and I hope more people get involved in it. These things are great. You know, it was great with Crash Holly in the Attitude Era, and this is great stuff as well. It's different. It's outside sort of wrestling, and it's a nice, fun comedy relief in it. Everything with RK Bro was terrific. Absolutely enjoyed it. Great story arc. Again, except for the Orton Omos match. But the opening with Riddle trying to plead with Orton and saying that, oh, the RKO last week, you just teaching me how to do an RKO properly. And then Orton rejected him, set up Orton Omos for late in the night, and Styles Riddle was set up as well. And Styles and Riddle had a great match with each other. Well, not great, but like a very good, solid match. Riddle's been killing it on Raw with his matches since he's come up. Another 3.5-star match here with Styles. Styles won after the distraction from Omos. Orton was not at ringside for Riddle. He actually left, which made Riddle sad. And Riddle was sad through the night. But he saved Orton from Omos and Styles attacking Orton later in the night. And then Orton said that Riddle had gained his respect. And RK Bro reunited. And the crowd went wild. And it was a terrific, lovely, heartwarming moment. And then we set up Raw Tag Titles. Styles and Omos versus RK Bro. That's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. As long as Omos stays out of the ring for most of it. Next, the final good stuff was Moist TV, not Miz TV, with Morrison and Miz. Morrison is hilarious, and especially teamed up with Miz. Both of these two are absolutely hilarious together. And basically, Morrison was a bit salty about Miz lying about not being injured. And then Miz just like accidentally said, "Oh no, I've been cleared for weeks." And Morrison's like, well, "You've been cleared for weeks? When are you going to tell me?"
Weeks, days, who cares about time?
Really great stuff. Miz is such a great, like, cowardly heel, unself-aware stuff. Go check it out. I can't put it into words, but Miz and Morrison are hilarious together. Then we had a match, Priest and Miz. Match was fine, a lot of fun. Priest won by taunting Sheamus and using a bro kick, setting up Priest and Sheamus, moving that storyline on. And then Miz and Morrison reunited in the back. A lot of water jokes as well. So much fun. So yeah, again, Raw, solid show. Nothing amazing, nothing bad, just sort of there. But I'm still excited for SummerSlam and TakeOver. So let's get on to an AJW match I watched from November of 1990, which was Bull Nakano versus Arja Kong. So it was a steel cage match. Lot of brutality. Arja hit like 7 or 8 backfists on Bull, which all looked brutal. But then the match picked up superbly in the second half. Just felt like an absolute war, which is what a cage match should really be. She hit a nice Bull, that is, hit a nice kick from the cage, like run up, jumping kick from the cage. Great intensity in this match. There was a couple of odd moments, like the pile drivers from Bull Nakano all were kind of botched and a bit sloppy. So they weren't great. And according to Twitter in 2021, that means I guess Bull Nakano can't wrestle. Well, there you go. It's such a ridiculous thing that, oh, just because someone botches in a match, therefore they can't wrestle. It's like, you clearly have not watched any 90s AJW. Like, yeah, botchiness and sloppiness from people like Kyoko Inoue, Bull Nakano, Arja, Manami, Toyota. There's so much botches and sloppiness. But it doesn't matter because it's just how you react to it. You know? Get up and move on. That's what you do. There's a botch, there's a stoppy moment, get up, move on, move to the next thing. Don't let it affect you. And that's just what you do. So it doesn't really matter that much. The only other thing I didn't really like was like sort of scissors they used, like stabbing in the arm. It's just pointless. It's needless. Like, you know, you have like weapons that are like impactful. Like a chair is impactful. You hear it. You feel it. A scissors, it's not impactful. It's just gory and it's not really interesting. You know? It just doesn't leave a great visual. You know? To me. It's just not my sort of thing. It's like a sort of deathmatch sort of thing and I really don't care for it. At the end of the match, Bull went to the top of the cage, did a leg drop, bounced up, landed back on her feet, and then legged up the other side of the cage and got out and won. Now, I'm not used to that. Usually if someone hits a leg drop, they're from like the top of the cage, they're down for like a good few minutes. But Bull, leg drop, back up, ran out the other side. Never seen that before. I don't think that should be done every time. But as a one-time thing, that looked really cool. But yeah, 4.5-star match between these two. If you can find it somewhere online, definitely go check it out. Terrific stuff. Again, it's Bull Nakano versus Arja steel cage match from the 14th of November 1990. Let's go on to SummerSlam and TakeOver predictions. So, for TakeOver, we've got LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes. If LA Knight wins, it's for a $1 million championship, but if LA Knight wins, then Ted DiBiase has to become LA Knight's butler. I don't expect that to happen, and I expect Cameron Grimes wins it, and wins the $1 million championship. It'll be a nice moment for Cameron Grimes, but I don't know where LA Knight moves on from there. Then we have the NXT Women's title match, Raquel Gonzalez taking on Dakota Kai. I'm predicting Raquel to win before I saw Dakota's new look. Now I'm changing my prediction, and I believe Dakota Kai is going to win, and she's going to win the NXT Women's Championship and become the new champion. And hopefully drop it to Saray in a few months, like 5 or 6 months. Then we got 3 absolute barn burners of a match. Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly, the final battle, 3 stages of hell. First fall, normal match. Second fall, street fight. Third fall, which it definitely will go to, steel cage match. I'm expecting Kyle O'Reilly to win 2-1. But this is going to be one hell of a match. I could actually also see Adam winning, to be honest. I don't really know. But all I know is it's going to be absolute straight fire. Then we got Volta taking on Ilya Dragonov, which on any other show would be the match I'm most hyped for, but it's actually the match I'm second most hyped for. But their first match was like a match of the year, 5-star, absolutely amazing match, and this one, if it's even remotely as good, then we're in for a damn treat. And I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think Volta's retaining. Now, I think he's at most threat this time than he's ever been in before, but I think he's retaining. I genuinely think that. You know, I thought the same with Rampage Brown. I thought Rampage Brown was going to be the one to beat him. And this is on a takeover, so there's more of a chance, but I just can't see Volta losing. But I wouldn't be mad if he lost. Ilya's a great choice. But I just expect Volta to win. But that's great. It's unpredictable. And then we have the main event match that I'm super hyped for. My boy, Karrion Kross taking on Samoa Joe. Two big, intense fighters taking on each other. This is going to have so much intensity and be such a nice match. And I'm going to say Kross is going to win. I think Kross is going to tap him out. I'm not certain on it, but I think he will. I just don't see Kross losing the belt here. And I want to see Kross versus Volta. Maybe champion versus champion. But Kross will win here, I think. And watch me be wrong on all those predictions. Now, SummerSlam predictions. Raw Tag Titles, Styles and Omos against RK Bro. I'm expecting RK Bro to win, to be honest. I think RK Bro are going to win the titles here. And it's going to be a beautiful moment. Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie. Lily will get involved in somehow. Maybe the Lily coming to life thing might happen here. Maybe. But Alexa Bliss is going to win. Hopefully it's kept short, the match. Or with loads of smokes and mirrors. Drew and Jinder. I'm expecting Drew to win. And again, I think it'll be a sleeper hit of a match. I think you better watch out for this match. I wouldn't dismiss this one. This could be a good match. Nikki Ash versus Ria Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. It's going to be a good match. I mean, Ria and Charlotte's last match against each other was terrific. Add Cross into it. It could be a lot of fun. But I'm not super hyped for it. But I expect Nikki to win and retain. Now on to the matches that are pretty much guaranteed to be fun. United States Championship, Sheamus versus Damien Priest. I'm kind of torn on this one because I'm really liking Sheamus and I really want him to retain, but I don't want him to beat Damien Priest. But I want Damien Priest to win the US title, but I don't want Sheamus to lose the US title, if you know what I mean. So I'm torn. I'm going to say Damien Priest is my prediction, but I would be fine with either result. The Usos versus the Mysterios. They had a pre-show match last month, which was quite short but great. And this looks like it's going to be on the main show, be a bit longer, and this is going to be one hell of a match, and the Usos are probably going to retain. SmackDown Women's title, Bianca Belair rematch from WrestleMania against Sasha Banks. This is going to be hella fun. If it's anything like their WrestleMania match, then we're, again, as I said earlier in a previous match, in for a treat. It could go either way, to be honest. I can see Sasha winning. But I'm going to make a bold prediction and say Bianca Belair will retain. Then we have Edge taking on Seth Rollins. This is going to be an absolutely terrific match. Such a dream match, Edge and Seth. The build for this has probably been the best build of any of the matches, to me. Really great stuff. Edge is just on fire. Seth's promo on SmackDown last week was amazing. This is going to be a really good match. And again, it could go either way. I can't really predict it. I'm going to say Edge, but I'm not fully certain about that. Then for the Universal title, we have Roman Reigns taking on John Cena. Now, this is a match I'm super hyped for, and again, I don't know who's going to win. I can see Cena winning, I can see Roman winning. But I think the Bloodline will stand tall, and I think with the Usos retaining, Roman will also retain. And I think then we'll move on to either Balor versus Cena or Balor versus Reigns, or maybe a triple threat. Finally, last but not least, the WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. I'm expecting Lashley to win, probably 4-minute match, which is all it should be. Bing, bam, boom. Hit, 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 finish. And Lashley wins. And it's going to make Lashley look like an absolute unstoppable beast. And then my boy Karrion Kross can be the one to stop him. Or Keith Lee. Or, one of those two. But yeah, should be a fun show. Both of the nights, both SummerSlam and TakeOver should be fun. and I'm looking forward to them. It's going to be a fun weekend of wrestling, and watch me be wrong on all my predictions. Finally, let's get into some questions. So, from Scenic, we have, what wrestling shows have you attended? So I've attended quite a few. So I went to a lot of house shows in 2006 and 2008. I went to a famous Raw episode on April 23rd, 2007 with Shawn Michaels versus John Cena in their 1 hour match. I was at that show. Terrific stuff. I've been to SmackDown a few times in 2018 and 2019. I think it was like a Money in the Bank sort of episode in 2019. And I remember seeing Nakamura versus Styles. Because even the chant of Nakamura, AJ Styles was going on well after the show on the way out. Like, people were still chanting it. Such a great atmosphere in that match. Terrific match. I'm blessed to have seen such awesome matches live. I was also at 2 NXT UK tapings. Or sorry, 3. I was at the first night ever of the Cambridge shows. And I was at both nights at NXT UK Brentwood in end of 2019, I believe. So they ran in early 2020. It's around the time frame that Tyler Bate had a match with Cassius Ohno. Had that amazing match. And I got to witness Gallus and Imperium brawl. And the whole arena was shaking with excitement for that. That was such a cool moment. One of my favourite moments live was Gallus and Imperium squaring up to each other. Such a great atmosphere. Really fun. I was also at an O2 show in 2019 for WWE. And I'm actually going to an upcoming one, which I saw Ronda Rousey, by the way. Saw Ronda Rousey take on Alexa Bliss. Saw The Shield. Who else was there? B-Team, go, go, go. Got to see Alexa Bliss, which was awesome. You know, I've got to see a lot of great people. I've got to see Kairi Sane live with the Kabuki Warriors. Tyler Bate, as I aforementioned. Noam Dar. Dakota Kai was at the first NXT UK tapings. Nakamura. Shane McMahon. Daniel Bryan, I got to see wrestle. So yeah, a lot of stuff I've seen. And considering that, I must have been to a May 2018 show at SmackDown as well, because I definitely remember seeing Brian and Big Cass have some sort of interaction. So yeah, so I've been at a couple of those then. Also, the biggest show I was at was at TakeOver London a few years ago. I was at that show. I don't have any footage or photos of it, but I remember being me and my mum were the only two people cheering Baron Corbin against Apollo Crews. We got to see Enzo Amore when he was cool with Big Cass. Who else was on that show? Sami Zayn returned. That was a terrific moment. We got to see Elias before he was interesting. And obviously Asuka wrestling Emma in a terrific match. And a terrific match between Balor and Joe. That was a great show. So they're the shows that I've attended and am attending. What wrestling event do you want to go to in the future? So I want to go to a WWE pay-per-view. I've only been to TakeOver London, but I want to go to another TakeOver, obviously. But I want to go to an actual pay-per-view, like a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania or something, or a Royal Rumble. So hopefully they come to the UK one day for that. I want to go to more NXT UK tapings. And also I want to see Stardom, TJPW, and Actress Girls. Whether they come to the UK or I have to go to Japan to see them, I really want to see some of their shows. What's your favourite wrestling entrance of all time and right now? I would say of all time, Triple H. Such a banging theme song. WrestleMania entrances especially are always super good. Love the lighting of the green and the purples. The water spit is iconic, and then he gets on the top rope and tells people to bow down. Just all of it, the intensity and the badassery of it, is why I felt like Triple H is my favourite of all time for a reason. And right now, Camu's got a bop of the theme song, but I'd say my favourite entrance. Mina's got a good entrance, just because she brings a nice aura to her. Unagi as well, But I would say Karrion Kross to me, just everything about it is terrific. With Smoke, Scarlet, the theme song, the intensity he brings. Really, really fun stuff. And what's your favourite thing about each wrestling promotion you watch? I was going to give a quick one answer for this. TJPW, big outlandish characters. Stardom, the unique unit structure that they have. Actress goes, just sort of like the aura and like the dancing at the start. That's sort of my favourite thing. NXT UK, the vignettes, and the banging main events they have. But I'd say the vignettes mainly. Like it's very uniquely done. Like there's a lot of like UK sort of references and stuff, and the way it's done and shot. And there's a lot of outside stuff, and I think it's really cool. A lot of it's really well shot. And I think it really brings uniqueness and makes it feel alive, makes the roster feel alive backstage. NXT takeovers, SmackDown, the quick pace of it really feels like hit, 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 hit. And I really love that. And Raw, I'd say the variety. I'd say that is the variety show. That's my favourite thing. Anonymous questions. What's your favourite piece of wrestling merch you own? I love my TJPW shirt because it has Senna. I love my Kabuki Warriors shirt. The Waka shirt I have is amazing. I've just bought an Ito and a Donald Armando shirt. But I'd say the Hana shirt, the Hana Kimura shirt is special. So I think that's my favourite shirt. I also have portraits that mean a lot, like Mayumi Mirai's Only Fives mean a lot. I've signed Kairi Sane one, means a lot. The Unamanase ones. But I'd say my favourite portrait is the final Senna Shiori one with her beautiful message on it, which just really means a lot for my favourite wrestler. And also I've got a towel and Cham, which is pretty cool. Questions from Marwan. Match of the year so far. Julia versus Tam, hair versus hair. Terrific storytelling in the match. Great intensity, great back and forth action. Really well told, really well done match. Just absolute perfection. It's going to be hard to top that. And the thing you most enjoy about wrestling, the stories that can be told. The stories that can be told. If you look at like a Bryan Triple H, that's why I got back into wrestling, was the story of the underdog Daniel Bryan. You know, I don't want to just see Guy A versus Guy B in a 40-minute match because reasons. I want a story behind it. I want something. And if there is not a story behind it, make a story in the match. You know? Get me invested into it. That's what I want. So, that about wraps everything up. This has probably gone on way too long. Remember to stan people like Unamanase, Marika Kobashi, Julia Misa Matsui, Mina Shirakawa, Unagi Sayaka, and Karrion Kross, and all the rest of my favourites. I'll see you next time. Arrivederci. Matinee.